I checked my Goodreads reading goal because my goal is to read 150 books, and it is the last day of September now, and my goal is not doing so hot. So I checked it and I was expecting to still be like on my goal. I am 4 books behind schedule. So I'm a little stressed, and now I'm like, I just want to be reading as much as possible. Ty and I go on another trip like next Friday, which is crazy. So my next read is a quick like fall paranormal romance read, and you've probably heard of it because it recently came out and it was a pretty big deal. And it's Bride by Ali Hazelwood, which, first of all, the floppiness of this paperback is like everything that I ever want. It's the perfect travel book. It's so comfortable, but I'm also enjoying it. Like, I'm about halfway through it, and I didn't have high expectations or high hopes for this one. Like, I thought I would like it, but it wouldn't be a favorite. But I've been enjoying it. Like, it's an arranged marriage between a vampire and a werewolf, and it has been pretty good so far. So I have been enjoying it much more than I thought I would, and I'm hopeful to read this one, finish it soon, and then keep going because I have a lot of books that I want to keep reading. And today is supposed to be the last hot day of the year, at least that's what it's looking like. So fingers crossed that it's also finally gonna be fall. First little update, my sister made me this Tortured Poets Department hoodie, crew neck, and I am obsessed with it. It is so comfy and so cute, and she made it unique for me. So it has this like, I don't know how to describe it, but like tight thread looking material, I don't know, but it's really cute and I'm obsessed. And she was like, I made it unique for you, so yours is gonna stand out, and I am obsessed. But other update, I finished Bride a couple days ago, and I will say Ali Hazelwood's books are pretty average to me. Like, I always enjoy reading them, but she's never one of those authors that like sits with me and like stays with me. And so this one I would probably give 3 stars to, like a pretty average read. I enjoyed it and I wanted to know what happened next, and I definitely got like captivated and addicted, but it just wasn't my favorite. I did like the trope of the arranged marriage and then them being like married the whole time, because that's just not usually what happens in romance novels. And I honestly didn't think that I liked that trope, but then all the times that he was like, my wife, or she was like, my husband, I loved that. So I found out that I do like that marriage trope, and I did not think that I did. New discovery with this one, but overall, 3 stars, definitely a pretty average read. I would recommend it for fall though, with like the vampire and the werewolves, like that was fun. So I would recommend. I also thought it was fun to just have a standalone paranormal fantasy book, because usually like they're always a super long series. And it was kind of nice to just have like one that you can jump into, get hooked on, and then you're done. Like, you don't have any more after this one. Although at the end, she does allude to potentially a second book with like the side characters. I wouldn't be mad about that, but I was glad to just read a standalone fantasy paranormal romance, because usually they're a whole series and you get like sucked into them. So it was just nice and unique to have like the standalone. But on to my next read. Even though I finished Bride, I am still 4 books behind schedule. So I'm a little frustrated because I have a lot of progress that I need to make. I'm at 109 books and my goal is to read 150. So I'm still behind, and a couple years ago I read If He Had Been With Me and was absolutely obsessed with this book. Like, I could not put it down and I loved it so much. And the author recently wrote a second one, and I have been like dying to read it, but it has just been sitting on my shelf. I have not touched it since I bought it. But last night I decided to start reading it, and once again, it is just as addicting as the first one, and I also just love these together. Like, they look so good. But I am about like 40 pages in, I believe. Yeah, 42, chapter 5, and I'm already addicted. Like, I started reading this and I've heard mixed reviews about it being like not necessary or not the best. Like, the first one was better, but so far I am just as addicted. So I am gonna keep reading this today and see how much progress I make. It is the next day and I have made quite a dent in this book. I'm on page 294 now, but I did not think about the fact that I would have to grieve Finn all over again, because obviously I knew what was coming and I knew what was gonna happen. But this one, I'm at the point which, if you haven't read it yet, then skip ahead, don't listen to this next part. But I'm at the point where he has died, and it's basically his friend Jack. It was just his POV, and it was like him grieving and going off to college and all the things. And now I'm in Autumn's POV, and I just really did not think about the fact that I would have to grieve Finn all over again. And it's like almost worse this time because the first part of the book is in his point of view. So I am once again devastated and sad, and I did not think about that when I was deciding to read this book, but it is so beautiful. And a lot of people have said this one isn't as good, but I am still just as sucked in as I was with the first one, and I've been really enjoying it. So this one still might be a 4-star read for me. Probably not 5 stars because it's not like a new plot or anything, but I'm almost done. I'm hopeful to finish it today and to read something else, but like I said, I just did not think about the fact that I would have to grieve Finn all over again and him and Autumn not being together. Like, why? Why? Hey friends, it has been a quiet, lazy Sunday, and Ty is gaming. If you hear voices in the background, he's in the office right now gaming. But I ended up finishing If Only I Had Told Her last night, and honestly, I think it's a 4-star read for me. It was really beautiful. It was really heartbreaking and sad, and I'm sad to leave these characters again, and I'm sad that I had to grieve Finny again. But overall, I really did like this one, and I wasn't disappointed. Like I have said, I saw mixed reviews, I didn't know what to think. But overall, I really loved this one, and I think I would still give it 4 stars. So if you haven't read If He Had Been With Me, then you should read it and then read this one next, because they're both really good and I really, really loved them. But after I read this one, I decided to read Little Women, and it's just a little classic illustrated edition, so like every page has a picture with it. I definitely want to read like the full novel of Little Women at some point, but this one was just like a quick little summarized version, and it was really cute. I really enjoyed it. I read it last night in one sitting just to get my reading goal and to continue reading like books off my TBR shelf. And then today I read 9 stories by J.D. Salinger, and honestly, some of these I think went over my head. Like, they weren't all my favorite, but they're definitely like a post-war like stories. All these stories have to do with people that are dealing with being back from the war or things that happened during the war. The last story honestly hit me the hardest. Like, the first one and the last one end with like the worst, most traumatic cliffhangers basically, and it's like 2 sentences and they're done and you're like, wait. So I kind of feel like I should have read each of these and like taken my time with them, but at this point I just wanted to get it read, so I didn't. But this one would probably be like 3 stars. I definitely liked some of the short stories better than the other ones. But now I am 2 books behind for my reading goal. So I think my next thing is just gonna be reading my fall TBR. And I'm really excited because I'm about to go on vacation with Ty and potentially have a lot of reading time in some really beautiful places. So stay tuned for that. Make sure to like and subscribe. And thank you guys so much for watching this video where I did not reach my reading goal yet, but I'm hopeful to catch up on it. So thank you for watching. Bye!